Hey, how's it going?
I'm living the dream.
Love it. Love it. Kylie, good to see you.
Hey,
Mm,
I'm just bummed out because I thought I did all the things right last night when the agent told me, we're offering this for the commission. We're offering 3% for the commission. And I was like, oh, heck yeah, this is great. Thank you. And then I didn't realize I needed to sign. I think it'll be okay, but I just didn't realize like I had to send the signed compensation form with the offer. So anyway, getting it signed now.
From your understanding, is that how we need every single offer will have a pay me this much kind of a form, the pay addendum?
You're asking me, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Yes, I would include it on every single offer. So there's two. There's one that's like kind of like an escrow instruction for when you have a conversation like you had today or last night that says I'm doing 3%, then you can send that one over. The other one is just asking in your offer for the 3%. Um, I think I am going to just do the practice of just asking for it in the offer and not using the escrow addendum.
That's my thought as well, because if you call the agent and they're like, we're paying 2%, then you have to have this thought in your mind, like, am I okay with 2% or do I up it for 3? But if you just default send it over for 3, then that kind of puts it back on the seller. It's like, oh, do we just offer 3? Because they're just assuming that.
Well, and see, I think it makes it confusing because from what I understand, you're supposed to use the escrow addendum if you have an agreed upon or they tell you that they're offering a certain amount. So if they tell you 2%, you use that for the 2%, and then you use the other addendum for another additional percentage.
It's very dumb, and I hope that changes soon.
Yeah, because that's crazy. But I think that from what I understand, that's how that's supposed to work. But I would just do the one addendum and ask for 3% personally.
Okay, that's what I had thought in my head, so that's what I'm doing. You write an offer, just default with a pay addendum on however much your buyer broker is signed for, which ideally should be 3%. All right, I try to stay neutral and let people do whatever they want. Do 3%. I think it's called the pay addendum, right? Is that what it's actually called?
Um, I actually don't know, but
Um, let's
I don't
see.
think it's called that on the MLS. I think it's called compensation something.
Oh yeah, real estate brokerage compensation agreement is one, and real estate brokerage payment addendum. The pay addendum is the one where you're asking for additional compensation above whatever is told to you.
What if nothing's been told and you're just submitting the offer because the agent won't text you back?
I I think we just
You
use the
use
pay.
the pay addendum. Yeah. And just do whatever, and then they can negotiate that. I would just do the pay addendum. Because we have to assume everyone is offering zero right now. And it does say so, it does say in addition to whatever the compensation is, but you don't know what that is, and we assume it's zero.
Yeah. Yeah, this payment shall be made in addition to any other compensation agreed by the seller's brokerage to buyer's brokerage, if applicable. And so what the seller would then do is fix in their exclusive right to sell that they're paying zero. How I imagine that looks.
I don't know. No, because that's so that would be so before it was in addition to whatever um they were offering on the MLS. So we didn't have to change anything with the ERS then. So no, I don't think you do.
Okay. Yeah, see, this is why I want it to change. I want it to be one thing. Shouldn't be in addition to. We'll pay. Nah.
From what I understand, they're creating a new REPC that will include a section that talks about commission and has a space for requested commission amount.
I love that. Because that's how I'm viewing this, right? Now we just have one more term that we need to negotiate, which is commission. And it's really who's paying for it, or where is it coming from? Is it coming from the sellers? Is it coming from the sellers in terms of commit or concessions? Is it going to be somehow included in the loan or something like that with the lender? Is it coming directly from the buyers, or does it come from you in a form of a discount? So who's paying it? How is kind of how I'm thinking of it as a negotiation. So, all right, who has questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
I am meeting the tenants of the fourplex, and going to look at the property tomorrow morning. What do I need to look for in the property? I guess other than just what pieces will picture the best and who was going to cooperate with the photographer. And also, is there anything that I am not supposed to talk about with the tenants, or I don't know. I've never done this.
Those are good questions. So, you might get questions from other agents after they end up walking through. If you can already spot those things that they are going to have questions on, so you can have answers, it will make your life a lot easier. Because the alternative is to like call up the property manager and hope that he knows whatever they're asking about. So keep your eye out for anything that you think might flag buyers or agents, and really the possibilities are endless there. I kind of put your investor hat on. If you were buying this, what would you be worried about or have more questions about? I would say take a few pictures too, just in case. I mean, they're not going to be great, but they're at least going to be something. If someone's like, oh, I wasn't able to get into the other units, what do they look like? You can be like, I have some iPhone pictures. I would not use those in the marketing because your pictures are definitely not going to look as good as a professional photographer, but it might help you in having something. In terms of what you can and can't say, I mean, they're going to know that the house is for sale, right? So there's no big worry with that. And the contracts that they have signed will roll over to the new owners. So whatever they have now, they're going to continue to have with the new owners. Now, once that contract is up, like let's say that their lease is up in October and it closes before then all bets are off. That new owner can do whatever they want. They can raise rates or rental rates by like crazy. They could do shorter or longer. They could have a whole new contract, which they probably will, that they will sign. So it's kind of like everything changes and everything stays the same.
Can the current owner renew any of the lease agreements before, just until it closes, like up until that date?
Yep.
Okay.
While it's
I don't know
active,
if all of them have like termed leases. Some might be month to month. And so I said, if that's the case, those would be subject to the new owner, right?
Yep. Yeah. So They can do anything up until you get a signed agreement, like an accepted
Okay.
contract. And then I would just be in communication and have everything in writing of what's going to happen. Because if you're under contract and someone's lease is up and you renew them, and the new owners was like, I really wanted to kick them out and remodel that unit, then all of a sudden you have the new owners that are mad that they have to wait a whole nother year to do something like that. So I would just be in communication. Now it's supposed to be, when you close, it's supposed to be however it was before. So any changes in leases and things like that will have to be disclosed to the new buyers. So that's why I would
Yeah.
always just talk to them and be like, I want to, or are you remodeling? Do you want these out? Do you want us to sign a new lease? And just get their opinion.
Okay.
Where it gets kind of funky is you want to make sure that your sellers are covered, right? If it's like you got an offer, you're 2 days in, and then you have to decide whether to renew a lease or not. Like technically those buyers could back out for a while. And so you just want to make sure you do right by your sellers. So maybe that's like, hey, can we, like renters, can we push this till next month kind of a thing? Kind of drag our feet till the new owners are in. Things like that are usually
Yeah.
best case. Whatever you do, just make sure buyers and sellers are on the same page. If you don't have a buyer, then just go ahead and do whatever the seller thinks is best to sell it, which might be raise rents, it might be sign new leases, or it might be kick them out so someone can see at least one of the units. So whatever the sellers and you decide is best to sell the property.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. What are we on? Are we on M and X still? Yes, is our last business day to call M and X for your DTD2. So make those phone calls. And if you can, today we have Cody Thorup teaching about growing your database. So this should be an amazing class if you feel like I need more closings, or I need to grow my database so I have future closings. This is the class that you'll want to come to. Cody's awesome. He's running the Red Sign team. So definitely make it to Ignite today at 9:30. And then we'll have office hours today at 2. If you have more questions, come find me before the weekend. Other than that, go make some phone calls, go crush it, and I'll see you all soon.
Thank you.
Yeah.